Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah Blackwell, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my spring cottagecore book recommendations. I love cottagecore books. I've talked to you guys about that before. I did do a recommendation list for like dark cottagecore books for fall last autumn, and I wanted to do some spring cottagecore recommendations. I love cottagecore, the aesthetic, like I love plants, and I don't know, I would have to say like the warmth of it. So generally, if you don't know what cottagecore is, it is like an aesthetic. And the idea being, if you really think about like Peter Rabbit and like beautiful English cottage gardens in the spring, things are slow, you're enjoying a cup of tea, there's lavender and daffodils and all kinds of beautiful flowers and wisteria just blooming all around you. If you imagine like walking through a beautiful garden gate to go through this cottage garden to this cottage to have a beautiful cup of tea with your good friend, like that is quintessential cottagecore. So I'm going to talk about some books here that I think really bring the cottagecore aesthetic. They are nature forward, especially set in times where there is lots of abundance of flowers. And I have a lot of books on this list, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it all in one video. I actually did an Instagram poll to ask, hey, can I talk about like, well, at the time I said 19 books, but I think it's 20 or more now. Can I talk about that many books in a book recommendation video? And everyone said yes. Like most people said yes. But the thing is, like now at this point, I just don't know if I can do it. Like, yes, I could, but like physically, I'm like, I don't know if I have even enough time or energy to film that long of a video right now. But I really wanted to film it, and I really wanted to get, you know, some of these recommendations out to you guys. So I'm gonna talk about some of them, and then there might be a part 2 of this video, so keep an eye out. We'll see. Some of these books I've read, some of these books I have not read, and I'm excited to read, so let's just go ahead and dig into this. In terms of like order, like I'm not gonna have any specific order. I might do more like of the romance forward stuff in the second video. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. So the first book I have on here is a book I just got out from the library, and I've heard about this book a lot from Tori Between Pages. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because she's a sweetheart and she has a lot of great content, especially fantasy romance content if you're into that. So this book is Flower Heart. It's by Catherine Bakewell, and she has told me that this book is quintessential cottagecore, and even just by its cover, it looks it. So I believe this is a YA book, and I don't read a lot of YA, but this says Claire's magic has always been wild, and I believe she has like botanical magic or flower magic of some sort, which I love. It looks like her father's sick and she needs help from Xavier, who is like her childhood friend, but they're like not friends anymore. He asks a really terrible price from her in order to help her save her father. It looks like there's a little bit more to why he's asking so much from her, and there's some secrets that she might be unveiling, and it sounds like it's going to be interesting. There might be a romance in here, and the back especially looks very like magical and apothecary. So I think this is going to be like quintessential like cottagecore, and I'm excited. Even from her outfit, it makes me think of it's like a little bit set in a historical setting, which I love historical settings for cottagecore books. So yeah, I'm excited about it. It says a power she can't control, a curse she can't undo, and a boy she can't forget. It sounds really cute. On another vein is another book that I did just get from the library that I have not read yet. This is Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. I have heard about this from a few different people actually. And this is more of like a horror book. And I like cottagecore horror, and I want to read more cottagecore horror. Another one that I've read before is What Moves the Dead, which is more like mushroom horror, which I find to be very fall. This one, though, I wanted to include, even though it is a horror, because it sounds like it's got more to do with plants like flowers. I mean, the cover is full of flowers. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It looks like this is sapphic. It's about a woman named Rosemary. She meets Ash at the farmer's market, and they fall in love, or at least one of them does. Rosemary becomes like obsessed with Ash, and she really wants to have her, and it sounds like this obsession might have consumed her. and I think things get weird. I don't know. I don't know how weird things get. I think they get pretty weird. I believe this is one of Riley's favorite books from Riley Marie of 2023. So I'm excited to pick this one up. Me and her have very similar tastes, so looks really good. So here is a book that I have talked about and really adore, and I would highly recommend the second book in the series too, but this is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't own the physical copy of the second book of the series yet. I need to get it. It's about Emily Wilde. It's a historical book too, so it's set in, I think, Victorian times. And we have Emily Wilde, who is a scientist of sorts. She studies fairies. So in this alternate universe, fairies exist, which I don't know. Is it an alternate universe? I don't know. But anyway, fairies exist and she studies them. And she is going to this Nordic country. I can't remember which one. It might be Finland or Norway. I'm not sure. But she goes there and she is studying this certain, specifically this certain species of fae. And her coworker ends up showing up, and her and him just don't. Well, she kind of has like a love-hate kind of relationship with them. There's a rivalry, and he shows up, and things just kind of go from there. It's really quirky. She's definitely a character. She doesn't get along with people very well. And there's found family, and there's tons of cottagecore aesthetic. There's fae and nature magic. It's just really, really, really good. Highly, highly recommend. This was my favorite book of 2023. Another book that I would highly recommend if you want to get into cottagecore aesthetic is a fantasy that's another historical fantasy. Once again, I just think the historical so fits with the cottagecore vibe, but this is Dreamer's Pool by Juliette Marillier, and this is set in Ireland, and it's medieval Ireland, I believe. That's generally what she writes about. And we have our main character. She is imprisoned for something that she did after something very tragic that happened to her family, and she's kind of out for revenge for the clan leader that imprisoned her. But she basically makes a deal with a fae, escapes, and her and one of the other inmates kind of go off together, and she has to say yes to anyone that asks for her help. She is a wise woman, which means like she understands magic, she understands herbal medicine, and so she just kind of sets up residence at this cottage, and starts treating people with herbal medicine. So they grow a garden. Just right there, you have the cottagecore aesthetic. It's right there on the edge of this really magical forest. And each book in the series sets around a different mystery. So the two of them kind of go around helping the town and solving mysteries. They kind of like get this reputation for solving mysteries. So I read the first book in the series, Dreamer's Pool. I still need to read the second book and the third book obviously as well. Highly, highly recommend. I love Juliette Marillier. So obviously it is another day, but things happen, and that's just motherhood. So we are going to be continuing on here. Sorry if the lighting's different, obviously different, but we're just going to continue on. Okay, so the next book on my list is Susan Whittick Albert's The Tale of Hilltop Farm. Sorry guys, my cat is rubbing up against my tripod. Charlie, come here. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. No, not interested? You just want pets? Okay, so I'm going to be petting him, I guess. So this is supposed to be a cozy mystery that's like about Beatrix Potter and the animals, I guess, around her cottage. It says, in this first of the cottage tales, animal lover and all-around good Samaritan, Beatrix Potter, author of Peter Rabbit, is ready to help solve local mysteries. If there's anything more cottagecore than Peter Rabbit, I don't know what it is. So this is basically like ultimate cottagecore. And with her entourage of animal friends, she sets out to win over the human hearts of Sorry. So it's also British, it's also historical, and it's cozy mystery. Beatrix Potter, like, I don't know, I don't think there's any more cottagecore than this. I really want to read it. I started it, but I'm like, I'm not quite in the mood for this currently, but I do want to get to it. And it just sounds absolutely fabulous. It's a series, so if I like it, I can continue on. Charlie, oh my gosh, sorry. If you want pets, you had me. Next, Charlie, no. Charlie. Okay, I'm gonna get a video of this. And this is the issue. This is the issue. Yeah. Okay. Charlie, stop. So I did talk about this in my spring TBR video, and that's Green Wild by Perry Thompson. So I think this book would be a perfect cottagecore book. And I really do want to pick this up soon because this just gives ultimate cottagecore vibes. The map. Charlie, stop it. The map is just super cottagecore. There are all sorts of like conservatories and greenhouses. They all have these like glass domes filled with plants. There's like houses and trees, like full-on tree houses. The child literally is just like out to get my freaking camera. He almost toppled this whole thing over. Okay, this is like a cottagecore fantasy middle grade, but it's like set in this plant type of like plant magic type of world called Green Wild, and it's a land of green magic that seems too strange to be real. Daisy has to band with this botanical genius boy. They're in Greenwild, and he can talk to animals. And she needs to be able to channel her power to change her whole world. I guess she has gotten to this world through like a portal door. So it's like a portal fantasy, which I love. Especially I love portal fantasy in middle grade. So looks super, super cute. I think this is like an ultimate cottagecore. I mean, like look at all the plants on the cover. So freaking adorable. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is A Quiet Life in the Country. This is by T.E. Kinsey. Yeah, Kinsey, sorry, T.E. Kinsey. And this is a cozy mystery series. It's historical, and it's set, I don't know when this is set. I think it's like possibly Edwardian, which is like right after Victorian. So I could be wrong, but I think it's Edwardian, and it's set in the countryside of England. No, Charlie. It's set in the countryside of England, and there is this woman, Lady Hardcastle. It sounds like used to be like a spy, and she had her sidekick, and the two of them kind of like did their spy business together, and she's done. She's retiring, and they decide to go move to the country for a quiet life, hence the title. But things go awry. Apparently this is literally murder capital of England, and murders just keep happening, and they keep having to solve them, and they become kind of known as the town sleuths, and it's really cute. It's cute. It's like not, I don't know. I don't think I've ever given a cozy mystery 5 stars, but I will say I've really enjoyed this series. I've read the first 2 books. I'm planning on reading the 3rd book. So that's a lot for me because I don't read a lot of cozy mysteries, and I never really go to them for 5-star reads. I go to cozy mysteries for palate cleansers. So really enjoyed this. Highly recommend, especially if you already really like cozy mystery. If you haven't picked up the series, it's got those cottagecore vibes. It just does. A lot of the people in this town are like farming type of people, so it's like a farming community, and so that kind of like lends to the cottagecore aesthetic as well. So highly recommend. It's really humorous, it's really funny, it's just fun, super easy reads. They're on Kindle Unlimited. I think the audio is included on Kindle Unlimited too, so you can actually read and listen for free through Kindle Unlimited, so highly recommend. Okay, so another cozy book, this is actually a cozy fantasy, is Silver in the Woods. And this is by Emily Tash. This is the first book in a duology. I have not read the second book in the duology yet, but I really would like to. And this is about Tobias. He is this wild man. He's magical in some ways I don't fully understand. He's somehow tied to the forest, and he has this relationship with all of the forest sprites, which are also some of the trees. And he's like tied to the forest and helps protect it. And there's also this other character, Silver, who comes, kind of like shows up one day to Tobias's cabin, and Tobias kind of falls for him, but in the meantime, while he's distracted, he has accidentally let this like evil re-enter the woods. And so it's that story. It's really sweet. It's got its dark elements too. It's kind of one of those books where you kind of have to allow your imagination to go free. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like for sure telling you what's happening, if that makes sense. It's kind of like abstract. So if you're okay with abstract writing, and something that's just kind of aesthetic and cozy, it's perfect. It is the perfect cottagecore cozy fantasy. If you like green magic, cozy fantasy, it's queer, definitely check it out. Another one that I have to recommend when I'm talking about cottagecore books is the Tea Dragon Society. This is the first book in, I think it's 3 now. I think there's 3 graphic novels, and they're middle grade. They are all super cozy, super sweet, super cute. The pictures in this graphic novel, like I wish I could show, like I'll have up the cover here, but I don't have a physical copy of this. I just read it at the library. I didn't even rent it. I literally just sat there and read it. No. I stood up and read it. I stood up and read the whole thing. It took me about maybe 15 minutes. And I did it while my kids were there running around in the kids' room, and my husband was there watching them too. And I wanted to read it, and it was really cute, and it was really sweet. And it's the epitome of cottagecore. It's about this kid who finds this like old tea society, and there's these tea dragons, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, let's make Pokemon cottagecore, but they're all like little dragons. I don't know. It's really cozy, really cute. Pick it up. I mean, if you are not super into that kind of thing, but you just want to like enjoy the aesthetic, but you don't like want a long read, you just want to have this cute transformation into a cottagecore aesthetic for like 15-20 minutes or longer if you want to take longer to read it, then pick it up, because it's very, very cute. Highly recommend. I mean, it's very short, so it's not like a full book or anything like that, but it is cute. And the artwork is really, really good too. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this video. I will probably come out with another one. I don't know when, but I have at least 10 more recommendations. So I guess let me know if you guys want more recommendations for cottage, like spring inspired cottagecore books, or maybe I can do even, they're kind of like spring and summer. It's kind of like all mixed together, right? I feel like there's not like summer themed content that much, but I feel like it also still plays into the gardening and cottagecore aesthetic for summertime. But eventually I do want to come out with the second half of this, so just let me know if that's something you want. I'll do it sooner than later if you guys want that, a part 2 of this video. But I'm filming during nap time right now, and mom life is busy and hectic, y'all know it, so this is what I have the time for today. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to click the like button and let me know if you want a part 2. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you like them. And yeah, until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life.
Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.